Hi, welcome to this interview by Feminine Vitae magazine. We're joined today by Ailish from TheGlowgetter, and we're going to be talking about how women can look after their reproductive health and their well-being by adopting a clean beauty regime. Okay, so if you could start off by just giving us a quick introduction of your name, your age and your occupation, just so we can get to know you a little bit better.
So I'm Ailish and I run the blog TheGlowgetter.co, and I also run something called the Glow Summit, which is a completely free online 5-day summit which looks at health, wellness and lifestyle. So it provides inspiration for people to live happier and healthier lives. So I interview leading experts in health, wellness and lifestyle, so you can get top tips and tricks from them to basically glow from the inside and out. And it covers 5 different areas, which is what you eat, what you think, how you move, what you use and what you do. So the blog focuses specifically on clean beauty, health and wellness. And I think you asked my age. I'm 35 and my occupation is doing that full time.
Okay, if you could just tell us a little bit about the GlowGetter and what inspired you to start it in the first place.
So I have always loved beauty, and I went and trained as a makeup artist part-time whilst I was working as a marketing manager, and then went and trained in beauty therapy as well, just because I loved it and I knew I wanted to go somewhere in that area but wasn't quite sure what. So I thought I'll just train in these areas first and kind of see like what happens and where things lead me. And I then decided I just kind of wanted to set up a blog because I was really interested in talking about beauty in general, but it specifically started off as clean beauty because I had a really bad skin problem, and I tried loads of different things. I tried loads of different brands such as Dermalogica and Clinique, everything, and I just couldn't get my skin clear. So I had randomly stumbled across this brand called Pi Skincare, which is a British brand, and they are Soil Association approved, and they are completely natural, completely clear of any of the kind of toxic chemicals, you would say, that are found in conventional skincare. And within 2 weeks my skin had completely cleared up. My eyes weren't watering from washing my face anymore, my skin wasn't irritated, it wasn't red, and I was like, oh my goodness, what is this amazing stuff? And what is this kind of natural organic beauty world all about? So decided to start looking into it more, and the blog kind of started there as well, and then it's just grown and grown really, and yeah, this is where I am now.
Could you explain to us the concept of green beauty or clean beauty and what that means?
So the idea behind clean beauty or green beauty, they both mean the same thing, is that you avoid certain chemicals in your skincare. Now, every ingredient is a chemical, but there are some that are more toxic than others. So say you can have water in your skincare and that's completely fine, but there'll be ingredients such as SLS, which is shortened for sodium lauryl sulfate. And what that does is it makes your product foam. So you know, if you have foaming face washes or body washes, that's the ingredient that makes everything foam. And what it does is it strips away all the dirt from your skin, which is great, but then it also strips away all the natural oils from your skin. So if you're putting that on your face and it's stripping all your natural oils away, then your body recognizes that something's taking it away. So it overproduces oil to get it back up to the same level as what it was before you washed it. So if you keep using that and your body keeps overproducing like sebum, which is the oil in your skin, you start to get problems with your skin that way, or your skin can get really, really dry and it can become really sensitive. And that's just one of the ingredients. There's a whole host of different ingredients that have varying levels of toxicity in them, and with clean beauty and green beauty, you kind of avoid certain chemicals. Now, there are varying spectrums and varying scales in terms of how clean you want to go, but for the most part, there's kind of 5 or 6 key ingredients, such as SLS, such as phthalates, such as parabens, that I would personally avoid in my skincare. And that's what clean beauty is all about, really. And it's also about championing the brands that do it really well. There are so many amazing makeup brands, skincare brands, hair care brands, body care brands, fake tan brands, everything you can think of now that is in the natural beauty, clean beauty spectrum that perform just as well as conventional brands. It's just they might be on a smaller scale and have a smaller marketing budget, so you don't hear about them as much. So I guess it's my job and the job of the clean beauty industry to kind of raise those people up and raise the brands up so that more people find out about them, so they start using less of the conventional beauty and more of natural brands.
Right, yeah, that's really interesting, because I've heard that foaming face washes weren't good for your skin, but I didn't really know the science behind it. Why do you think it's important to use natural skin and beauty products?
Because our skin has a really, really similar molecular structure to plants. So if that's the case, then if we can use more plant-based ingredients and skincare, then it's only going to help our skin to thrive way, way more. So I find that if you're using products that are going to help your skin in terms of putting things into it and helping it nourish and grow, then that's only going to be a good thing, rather than using conventional products where they're taking something away from you. So say, for example, with your foaming face wash, that's taking stuff away from you. It's taking your makeup off, but it's also taking away your natural oils. So whereas with a clean beauty brand, you can still have a foaming face wash and it will take off your makeup, but it won't take off the natural oils in your skin as well. So you want something that's helping you. You don't want something that's taking away, and that's why I feel like it's really important.
Okay, right. What are your top tips or suggestions for vitamins, supplements, essential oils, lifestyle or exercise?
Yeah, so I wrote a list, so I've got it down here just in case I forget them, because I think there was 10 tips. First one is water. I've always noticed such a difference when I don't drink water to then when I drink, say, 2 to 3 litres a day. It is the best, like, natural Botox there is. Like, if you've got fine lines and wrinkles and you don't drink water, then as soon as you start drinking it, you notice an immediate difference. So that would be my first one. Second one is sleep. And I know these are quite basic, but they are fundamental essentials. So just get enough sleep. Now, it doesn't have to be like 8 to 10 hours. It can still be like 6 or 7 hours, just as long as you feel good when you wake up. But sleep's really, really important. The third one, with regards to vitamins and supplements, I personally take a probiotic and omegas 3, 6 and 9 every day. There are other supplements that I take. So when I do weight training, I take a magnesium supplement in the evening, but that just kind of helps my body recover, the muscles recover, but it also helps me relax in the evening, which is really nice too. So those are kind of the 3 key supplements that I take. I wouldn't necessarily not recommend them, but recommend them. The reason I say that is because I'm not a health practitioner. You always have to go and speak to your doctor first to find out whether these are suitable for you. So please just don't start taking them just because I have. Please do consult a health practitioner. The fourth one is definitely exercise, in particular doing weights, not just cardio or HIIT training. The reason I say that, especially after you hit your 30s, your collagen levels drop and your muscle mass starts to drop as well. So if you can start to incorporate some weight training in there, it just helps with longevity and health as well. So that's really important. Fifth one, meditation. This is a lifesaver in terms of helping you with your happiness levels, with your health, with your mental well-being. It's just incredible. And I think anxiety and depression is a very highly talked topic at the moment, and I think that if people could incorporate some more meditation into their life, I feel like it would be really, really beneficial. One of the things that I learned with meditation is that, especially when you're really, really stressed out and you're really anxious, the only way to actually calm yourself down and tell your body that it's safe is to focus on your breathing. And the reason that is there's something in the front of your brain, in the frontal cortex, called the PNS, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. I always get that wrong, but I got it right first time. And that controls like fight or flight mode. And if you are stressed out and you're anxious, then you'll notice that your breath is really, really short. Whereas, so that tells your brain that you're stressed out and like there's impending doom coming. So if you can start to focus on your breathing and breathe in for 5, hold for 5 and breathe out for 5 and keep doing that for 5 minutes or 10 minutes when you feel particularly stressed or anxious, then what that does is it sends signals to your brain to tell you to calm down and, to tell you that you are safe and that there's no impending doom and there's no real danger. So that has a real big effect on your cortisol levels and then making you feel a lot better and feeling a lot more calm and in control. So meditation and breathing are just, they sound like, breathing sounds ridiculous because we all do it, but a lot of us just don't do it properly and don't know how to help ourselves sometimes. So that's really important. Clean beauty, obviously, I would definitely recommend that as one of our top tips, just because of what I've talked about before. Clean eating as well, because it doesn't matter how much what you're putting onto your skin, it's also about what you're putting into your body. You could have all the clean skincare in the world, but if you're eating rubbish, then it's just not going to help. So I don't necessarily promote any particular diet. I just say include more greens in your diet, that's all. I still eat meat, but I make sure that I incorporate a lot of plant-based ingredients into my diet, which is kind of what works for me. So you do you, but just make sure you include more greens in there. I think number 8 is getting out in nature. It's been known to help reduce stress. There's loads of really interesting studies on forest bathing and getting out in nature and how it really helps to increase your happiness levels and reduce your stress. So I would definitely say that, because there's nothing like a walk on the beach that just clears your head and makes you feel lovely again. The next one is personal development. I always think that the level of thinking that got me here isn't going to get me there. So I always like to see if I can try and improve myself in some way. And I feel like that has a really big effect on your happiness levels as well. And it kind of all ties into this holistic wellness and well-being. So I feel like that's really important. And then the final thing is having fun, because what is life without fun?
Exactly. It sounds like you've really worked out what works for you personally and what really gets you to the next level. So what differences have you noticed since using natural products?
A massive amount. So as I mentioned before, I had a really big problem with my skincare, and it's been an evolving journey actually, because when I first started out I had my problems with it, and then it cleared it up massively, and then I came off the pill about 2.5 years ago, and my skin freaked out. I just got the most horrendous hormonal acne all over my face. I had a rash all over my face, and it took me a good 1.5 years to figure out how to clear it up. And that meant going back to basics again, going back to cutting everything out in terms of the products that I was using and just using 2 key products. They were actually by Skin Owl. If anybody suffers with hormonal acne, it's an American brand, and they were absolutely phenomenal. The 2 products that I used was their Matcha Cleansing Balm, and Matcha Cleansing Bar, which is it looks like a little soap, and then also their Beauty Whip, which says it's a mask, but when I spoke to the founder, she said just use it as a moisturizer or use it as a primer and try and cut everything else out. And those completely transformed my skin. And you can see before and afters on my YouTube channel, which is at TheGlowgetter. And I had it before when my skin was just completely red and really awful, and then a month afterwards and it was basically completely clear again. It was phenomenal. So it's been a kind of evolving journey, but I really feel like using natural skincare has really helped to kind of get my skin to where it is now, and I'm a lot happier with it.
That's good. How have these products helped your hormonal or reproductive health?
So I feel like there's been a lot of internal products that I've taken to help balance my hormones. I went to see a naturopath when I first came off the pill, and she recommended a really good probiotic. She recommended this horrible tincture which I had to take every day. I have no idea what was in it, but it was horrible, and I'm not entirely sure that helped, but I know that including things like linseeds into my diet, and omega-3, 6s and 9s really helped. Also zinc to help with the scarring and to repair my skin, and then also a really good probiotic as well. So those were the internal things. The external products, like I mentioned, was the Skin Al brand, and then also recently I've been using a European brand called Iuna, and they are from Spain originally, and they brought out these 2 new products, which is kind of I think it's either retinol or something in it, and it's basically, it comes out on a cotton pad, and it looks like it looks like a liquid, but then it goes powdery on your skin. And what it's meant to do is just rejuvenate your skin, take off the dead skin cells, help with removing scarring, and I just think that's absolutely phenomenal. So I've been using those. So those have really helped with the hormonal acne side of it. In terms of balancing my hormones or helping with reproductive health, Clean Beauty traditionally doesn't use ingredients that affect your hormones. So there can be ingredients in traditional or conventional brands that can lead to affect your hormones and affect your estrogen levels and give you a build-up of estrogen. But Clean Beauty traditionally doesn't do that. So indirectly, without those ingredients being in it, it's helped my hormonal health.
Okay, that makes sense. If anyone's watching out there and they think that they want to start adopting a Clean Beauty regime, but they feel a bit overwhelmed by all the information, what advice would you give them on how to start?
So start one for one. So don't feel like you have to throw everything out. Just when you come to the end of one of your products, then replace it with a more cleaner brand. So that's the first thing I would say. The second thing is come and check out my blog, which is theglowgetter.co. There's a list of ingredients on there which you can print off, and then you can check it against any of the products that you go to look at. The second thing, or the third thing rather, is there's a couple of really decent websites that you can go onto. One is called the EWG/Skin Deep database, and you can type in brands into there, for example, like say L'Oreal or something, and you can see how toxic these brands are on a scale of 1 or 0, which is completely fine, to a scale of 10, which is something you really need to avoid. I tend to use products in the 1 to 4 range, so just to give you some guidance on that. There's also a new app out which is specifically for the UK, and that is called Skin Ninja, and you can download the app onto your phone, and then you can scan the barcode of the product, and it'll tell you kind of where it's at on a toxicity scale, and then also you can use lots of filters on there as well. It's a really, really good app, and it's going to be really forward thinking over the next few years, I think, and they're doing some interesting stuff. Also keep it simple, don't stress out about this. I feel like Clean Beauty is like the icing on the cake sometimes, where you've got to get your health right first. So look at what you're eating, look at your stress levels, look at whether you're exercising, look at whether you're sleeping, and then look at your beauty, because like I said, all of these things add up, and they're super important. And then Clean Beauty is like the icing on the cake of, okay, let's get my beauty regime kind of sorted. So don't stress out about it. Deal with your reducing your stress first, and then go on to Clean Beauty and do 1 for 1.
Okay, yeah, that seems like good advice, working on your overall wellness before. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your wellness journey?
It's forever ongoing. I am not perfect. Just because I'm being interviewed doesn't necessarily mean I've got it all figured out, especially with health and wellness. I still get stressed, and I still have to go back to basics when I do get stressed and forget all my nice helpful tips. So just know that nothing's ever perfect, but that's the beauty of everything, and that's the beauty of beauty, I guess. So just go easy on yourself. I feel like women in general are really hard on ourselves, and we're our own worst critics. So just be gentle, and you're doing the best that you can with the knowledge that you have now. So you're doing great.
Okay, that's the beauty of beauty. That's a good tagline. Okay, well, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for watching this interview by Feminine Vitae magazine. If you'd like to find out more about adopting a clean beauty regime or any other strategies that will help your reproductive well-being, then please visit femininevitae.co.uk. Thanks for watching.